Warning, the following content contains jokes. If you feel personally attacked, that is something you need to talk to yourself about, not me.
All right, my friends, it is time for a segment I've been very excited about, the story of my life, which is dealing with annoying music fans like you. That's right, you watching this right now, you should probably be on this bracket. What we will do today is decide, once and for all, what is the most annoying music fan base on the planet. At least here's the top 16 that I could think of. And to be honest, here's the real truth. Here's the real spoiler. All fandoms are annoying. All fandoms are terrible because your identity should not revolve around consuming anything, whether that is music or movies or video games or politics or whatever. Your identity should not revolve around that, which is at the core of why all fandoms are annoying. But today, we will go down this list. We'll ask ourselves, who were the most annoying fans? On the top right, Gavin Dance fans versus MGK fans. Now, again, I want to be clear that we're not talking about the artist here. We're talking about the fans. Because there may be times where the artist is cool and chill and the fans suck, or vice versa. So what I want to talk about here is the fans, not the artist. Now, this is a tough one because I have been punished by a lot of Gavin Dance fans over the years. They're one of these bands where if you don't say positive things about the band, you'll get punished by the fans who say that you don't get it. And they're just like weed fans who are like, oh, you just haven't tried the right strain, bro. Oh, you smoked weed 50 times, but it wasn't the right strain, bro. You just have to try this strain, then you're going to like it. Gavin Dance fans are kind of like that too. Like, oh, you listened to 17 of their Weedly songs, but no, you didn't listen to the right one. You didn't listen to one that goes Weedly, scream, scream. You listen to the one that went scream, scream, Weedly. You just don't get it. No, you just have to listen to the other 74 songs before you'll finally get the band. That's how Death Grips fans are. I said I hated them because the vocals suck and he made me listen to the instrumental album. Exactly. You're like, bro, I don't like it. If you like it, that's cool. I don't like it. Am I allowed to just not like it? Am I allowed to just say, hey, if you're into this, that's cool. I don't think it's for me. Gavin Dance is one of those bands where you just can't say that. Look, it's not going to surprise everyone. They're nerds. Let's just be real. I'm sure everyone in the band, if anyone in the band is watching this, I support the band. I am a fan of the band. But let's be real. Gavin Dance fans are nerds. That's just reality. It is what it is. Now, on the other hand, we've got MGK, Machine Gun Kelly, whose fans are not nerds by any means. They are, they're a lot of things, but they're not nerds. MGK fans are the kind of people who will start a fight with you at the bus stop over nothing, or at least his old school fans were that. When he was coming up as a rapper, I remember I lived in Ohio when he was coming up. That was the MGK vibe back then. The kind of people who would like ask you for a cigarette at the bus stop and you're like, nah, sorry, man, I don't smoke. And then they get all pissed off at you and pick a fight with you and decide that somehow you had insulted them and disrespected their honor because you didn't have a cigarette for them at the bus stop on West 65th. You're like, listen, I don't smoke. Sorry, man. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, the methadone energy, exactly. And I gotta say, this is true too. It's the anti-MGK fans that are worse than the Gavin Dance fans. It's kind of true. You know, I've criticized MGK quite a bit for lots of reasons, and I probably will continue to do so as well. But I gotta say, the MGK haters are almost as annoying as any other fan base. So it's like anytime we bring up MGK, if you say anything positive about him, as I have, I mean, got to give him respect for, number one, putting pop punk back on the map, because let's be real, he did. Number two, I think he's a damn good rapper. I think that his voice isn't great for pop punk, but he's a damn good rapper. You say anything positive about MGK, and that the MGK haters will come out of the woodwork and get up your ass and call you all sorts of terrible names. With that being said, for me personally, my experience is that I have gotten punished a lot more by Gavin Dance fans than I have MGK fans. So I would say that in this one, they're going to advance to the next round of this contest. This community is so beautiful and positive. I'm going to give you absolute grief for not being in it. Exactly. Ooh, this next one is a rough one. On the one hand, we've got Babymetal. And on the other side of the bracket, we've got Nicki Minaj, the Barbs. I'll start with Nicki Minaj because maybe some of you, I know most of the people watching this are more in the rock and metal side of things, so you may not be familiar, but Nicki Minaj fans are absolutely vile. To be clear, I actually like Nicki Minaj. She seems like not a great person, but there's something about her that I like. She just has like that kind of like New York big dick energy. She had dragon energy. You remember when Kanye said that he liked Trump because Trump had dragon energy? That's how I feel about Nicki Minaj. She has dragon energy. Yeah, she seems like a diva, but she's got swagger and charisma, so she's cool. Plus, I actually like her music quite a bit. As an example of her and her fans' energy, there's this. This person says on Twitter, you know how dope it would be if Nicki put out mature content, no silly shit, just reflecting on past relationships, being a boss, hardships, etc. She's touching 40 soon. A new direction is needed. Seems like a pretty reasonable tweet to me, right? Like, no big deal. That's pretty good feedback for Nicki, in fact. So Nicki DMs this person and says, when your ugly ass was 24, you were pushing 30. I'm 34. I'm touching 40, LOL. And what does that have to do with my music? Eat a dick, you hating ass hoe. I dropped my album almost 4 years ago. My bad, I'm 35. So at 31, how about you get like me? Why don't you ask me to help you get rich? Been on top and I ain't going nowhere, hoe. Just sends this poor woman the most like awful, hateful DM. Like, imagine waking up in the morning to your DMs and be like, oh, Nicki Minaj DM'd me. That's not good. So that's Nicki Minaj, and her fans are kind of the same. I'm not even gonna read this out loud because it's probably a TOS violation. But once Thompson posted the screenshot and message, Nicki's swarm pounced. They harassed Thompson across every social media platform, even texted her cell phone. They found Instagram pictures of her daughter. Thompson lost an internship for a music blog, and many pointed the finger at Minaj. Meanwhile, her super fans attacked the 26-year-old in every digital platform they could occupy. I'm not even going to read how horrible the message that this woman got was. You can read it for yourself if you want. Awful and racist, just not good. So that is the vibe of the Nicki Minaj stans. Truly awful. Now, on the other hand, we've got Babymetal. And Babymetal, they seem like totally nice people. I've seen a couple of interviews with them. They seem maybe kind of bland, but super nice people. Nothing wrong with people in the band from what I can tell. The fans, though, the question here is who is more annoying? I don't know if Nicki Minaj fans are annoying. They're scary. Babymetal fans, on the other hand, my experience with them, you guys know this exactly. Babymetal fans are like the porn historian type nerds. I've made a couple of videos where I was somewhat critical of Babymetal, but I wasn't even really that critical. Basically, I said I think they're okay, but they're not great, and they're kind of industry plants, which they are. I mean, that's just a fact. They were started by this company that is like basically an agency that creates idol groups. So it is a fact that they are industry plants. But the Babymetal fans did not want to hear it. I still get angry comments. I have thousands and thousands and thousands of angry comments on that video. Many DMs calling me racist and awful and telling me that, all kinds of terrible things I'm not even going to repeat on stream. Easily one of the most irritating fan bases I ever dealt with. So if the question is who is scarier, well, it's Nicki Minaj fans. Barbs, don't come for me. I love you, Barbs. Don't come for me. I surrender. I'm waving the white flag. Barbs are terrifying. Babymetal fans, definitely more annoying. So they're going to advance in this bracket. Babymetal is adjacent to idol culture, and that's a miserable and dark section of entertainment. That is very true, too. Very true. And this is what it comes down to. The more emotionally invested the fans are, the wilder they get. It's true. You get that weeb rage with Babymetal fans, but with Nicki Minaj, you get that Caribbean rage. Okay, now the next one we have, another tough choice. We've got Deftones versus Megadeth. I'll start with Megadeth. My thing with Megadeth is they're just baffling. Exactly. Megadeth fans are either 15 or 70. Either way, they're not having sex. I agree with that. It's not that I think Megadeth sucks. I think they're just very mid. And it's strange to me that there's people, in 2022, like this is what, almost 40 years of Megadeth being a band. They just went to number 3 on Billboard. You still see like 15-year-olds waiting for the bus wearing a Megadeth shirt. I'm like, how is there a 15-year-old that of all the things they could be listening to, they chose Megadeth? What does anybody like? How? What? Who? I have so many questions. Why, God? Why? Give me answers. I understand you work in mysterious ways and you can't explain all your decisions to me, but just please explain to me your decision to grant fans to Megadeth. I don't get it. And when I've said this about Megadeth, people might get a little bit fussy, but generally speaking, you know, not too bad. Yeah, the talent in the band is top notch. That's true too. But I don't know. I mean, who cares? You know what I mean? So they're good players. So what? The songs are terrible. That said, I don't think that Megadeth fans are super annoying. They just have bad taste. And that's okay. It's not a crime to have bad taste. You have bad taste in music if you like Megadeth, but it's not so bad. On the other hand, this is right. Deftones fans just have a holier than thou attitude. Deftones are another band that's kind of mid. You know, they're fine. They're better than Megadeth, but it's another one of these fandoms where, for whatever reason, Deftones fans are convinced that the band is God's gift to music. And if you don't appreciate them as the greatest thing on earth, and if you don't hail our Lord Chino as some sort of brilliant tortured genius who, for some reason, deserves to be treated as anything other than the singer of a nu metal band, they're going to come for you. They're going to come for you. And there's a sense of butthurtness about Deftones fans. You know, Megadeth fans are just sort of like a little bit annoying, but there's the butthurtness. That's what annoys me the most about fandoms, is how butthurt they get. Like, to me, that's the central thing. When you criticize the band that they like, how butthurt do they get? And Deftones fans are top of the charts in terms of butthurtness. If you don't worship Deftones as much as they do, you're going to get a bunch of DMs and comments telling you that you clearly just don't understand it because you didn't smoke the right strain, bro. You just didn't smoke the right strain. What do you have against stoners? Yes, I do smoke weed 17 times a week, but what does that have to do with anything? And yes, I do love Deftones, and yes, I do wear Pumas, and yes, I do smoke weed and eat cereal for dinner, but what does that have to do with anything? This is what it is. They want the band to be so badly recognized as art rock, but they're forever associated with nu metal. That's exactly what it is. They don't want to admit the truth, my friends. Deftones are a nu metal band, and that's okay. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with the fact that Deftones belong to the same genre as Motograter and Mudvayne and Mushroomhead. Deftones are in the same genre as Mushroomhead, and that's okay. That's okay. Just admit it. The truth will set you free. And so for that, Deftones fans advance in this bracket. Now, the last one we have may seem like a bit of an interesting comparison, but the last one on this side of the bracket we have is Real Big Fish versus Ramstein. Ramstein fans annoy the shit out of me because, for one, they're another one of these fandoms that, seems to think that Rammstein is the best band of all time. Have you ever actually listened to Rammstein? Very boring, and all the songs sound the same. And the lyrics are like weird, horny shit. It's like fake deep. Exactly. Rammstein fans just like Rammstein because they don't speak English, so it's different. And if I ever say Rammstein in any way other than Rammstein, I get a million angry comments like, oh, wow, I can't believe you didn't say it right. Like, no shit, I said it like an American. I'm fucking American. No shit, I didn't say their name like a German person because I'm not fucking German. You fucking irritating assholes. Jesus Christ. All their songs sound like Du Hast. And the fans think that it's fucking God's gift to music. Very annoying people. Now, how about Real Big Fish? Real Big Fish, I'm just going to use them as sort of a stand-in for all the third wave ska stuff in general. And when it comes to butthurt, holy shit, there may be no more butthurt fandom than the ska punk people. I made a couple jokes about ska, and I figured of all fandoms, I figured ska people would be able to laugh at themselves, because how could they not? I mean, we're talking about people who, well, let's take a look at who they are. This is what you're defending. This is what you claim. This is your master. This is the one that you serve. The man in the baggy yellow suit who looks like the usher at a theater. Or, to be more specific, Real Big Fish. This is it. These are the people who can't take a joke. Every time that I have made a joke about ska punk or suggested that maybe it's not great, oh my God, they get so butthurt. I was shocked. I was really legitimately not expecting that. I have learned since then that criticizing basically anything makes people angry. This makes the 90s feel like apocalyptically dark times. Here's what I'm saying. If you like Real Big Fish and Mustard Plug and Goldfinger and all that stuff, hey, that's fine. Totally cool. But if you can't laugh at a joke about ska, I mean, Jesus Christ, people. Touch grass. That's all I have to say. Touch grass, or better yet, go touch a tit. Because after you touch a tit, you will find that there are better things in life. There are more important things in life than defending the honor of fucking Real Big Fish. Once you touch a boobie, you'll go, oh, wow, this is way cooler than Real Big Fish tickets. This is way cooler than checkerboard Vans. So as much as Ramstein fans irritate me, I gotta say, the ska fans on a whole other level of butthurt. And so for that reason, Real Big Fish will advance to the next round. On the left side of the bracket here, first, we have Tool versus Enter Shikari. I'll play this again just because I know it makes Enter Shikari fans upset. Again, maybe the most irritating thing to me with a fandom is a fandom that worships something that is kind of not great and then gets angry when you say that it's not great. For example, this. Oh, but it's literally a bad demo, bro. Hey, I'm not the one who put it on YouTube. Make it stop. Later albums about. Listen, I've heard it all. This is you guys just doing the same thing. You just gotta smoke the right strain, bro. Listen to all 72 of their albums, and then you're like, and I don't like it. If you like it, that's okay, but I don't like it. Enter Shikari fans are punishers, and by punishers, what I mean is, you know, if you go to a party and someone comes up to you and starts talking about their weird nerdy hobby, like raising shrimp in a tank, and they just keep talking to you. They just keep going on and on and on and on and on about their shrimp. Like, oh, well, I'm raising a jumbo tiger shrimp, and you know, I can't feed him enough, but the problem is that I didn't get to pay it. Shut the fuck up, man. I don't care about your fucking shrimp. That's what Enter Shikari fans are. They're punishers. That said, when it comes to annoying fans, I think we all know Tool's got to take the cake here. Do I even need to explain why? Enter Shikari fans suck, but even if they sucked equally to Tool, keep in mind Tool is a Billboard #1 selling band. So even if they were equally annoying, they would have to win just based on that. Just based on sheer numbers. Tool would have to win. I mean, just the epitome of fake deep, of fans who just think that they're God's gift to music, and they've got to explain the whole thing to you. And if you don't like it, well, you just don't understand it. Well, listen, motherfuckers. I saw Tool 3 fucking times on the Opiate Tour. Did you? I saw Tool 3 times playing to like 500 people. Did you? I get it. I listened to Tool 30 years ago. I think they suck. Well, they don't suck. They're just mid. Just mid. They're okay. Tool wins it all, no doubt. They just drain annoying threes from the center court all day long, blowing out the competition. It's true. It's true. They're the Draymond, the Steph Curry of annoying fans, just draining those threes. Nobody can keep up. No matter how hard you try, they just keep draining those threes. All right, so next up, we've got a tough one here. We've got BTS versus Limp Bizkit. I'm going to assume that all of you know who BTS is, but just in case you don't. As far as I'm aware, the biggest K-pop artists in the West. I actually think BTS is really good. This song is great. I like this song a lot. I think it's a great song. So why do people think BTS fans are annoying? Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? Because we've all heard about how rabid K-pop stans are, and it's true. For example, anytime I've said in a video that like K-pop, I think it's just okay. Because for the most part, I don't think it's great. BTS is really good. I think Blackpink is pretty good. I liked CL and 2NE1 also. But if you ever are like even just slightly critical of K-pop, you're going to get a bunch of angry comments from K-pop stans and like, you know, 5-paragraph long DMs about how you're wrong and you should appreciate it and blah, 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 blah. But it's fine because K-pop stans, K-pop fans in general, they're like actual children. You know, there's like 13-year-old girls is the audience for this stuff. You know, I don't fault 13-year-olds for being 13-year-olds. I probably would have done that too when I was 13. So that's fine. They're just, you know, when you're that age, you know, you just get kind of too wrapped up and stuff like that. And, you know, whatever. It just is what it is. Are they annoying? Yes. but all teenagers are annoying, so I'm kind of inclined to give them the benefit of the doubt. Not as bad as Babymetal fans because they aren't at least borderline pedophiles. You take that back. They're not borderline. Take that back. There's nothing borderline pedophile about Babymetal fans. Now, Limp Bizkit fans, on the other hand, I gotta admit, I did not see this one coming. Back in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, there was no band more hated than Limp Bizkit. None. No question. It is not even close. With that being said, as much as everybody hated Limp Bizkit back in the day, I did not see a day coming in 2022 where if you dared to criticize Limp Bizkit on the internet, that the stands would come for you. Actually, bro, Fred Durst was always dope on the mic. You don't know shit, bro. I reviewed their new album, and I basically said it was kind of crappy. Fred Durst is dope on the mic. That was an actual comment that somebody gave me. Somebody actually said that to me. I was not expecting the amount of backlash I got from that. Who would have ever thought that the day would come where you would get attacked by stands for not liking Limp Bizkit? What a time to be alive. 2022, where you're a poser if you don't like Limp Bizkit. And again, these are not 12-year-olds. These are 36-year-old men leaving these comments. 36-year-old men, many of which have children who probably like BTS. So for that reason, because we're talking about adults here who A, have bad taste because Limp Bizkit is terrible, and B, also get butthurt about it, I'm going to have to say, I'm going to give Limp Bizkit the W for this round. They're going to move ahead into the next round of this contest. Next up, we've got a couple that were suggested to me on Twitter. Dream Theater versus Insane Clown Posse. Now, you guys know what I'm going to say here. I put ICP on here because a lot of people mention it on Twitter, and, you know, for a long time, ICP was cool to dunk on, but I made a whole video about this. I love Juggalos, MCL, to all my ninjas. I do think ICP's music is terrible. But I love Juggalos. I think they're wonderful, weird, but misunderstood, kind people. I love ICP. I love their fans. I'm a fan of the Juggalos. I have nothing bad to say about Juggalos. Lovely people. Dream Theater fans, on the other hand, I mean, I think it is obvious they've got to win this one, right? We're going to move them ahead to the bracket because when it comes to people who think that something mid is actually great, wonderful, high art, I mean, they got to be up there with Tool fans. Dream Theater to me is the equivalent of, imagine if somebody came up to you and said that Avatar was like the pinnacle of cinema, that this was like the ultimate expression of film as an art form, and blah, 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 blah. And you're like, Avatar? Really? Or like, I mean, it's okay, I guess, but really? That's how I feel about Dream Theater fans, because look, respect to the guys in Dream Theater. Obviously, they can play their asses off, and they seem like super cool guys. Nothing against any one of them. I interviewed Mike Portnoy in maybe 2005 or something like that. He was super friendly, like awesome guy. Nothing but good things to say about him as a person, and never heard a bad thing about anyone in the band. But the fans, the definition of people with bad taste who think they have great taste, and I can't abide by that. So I would say they've got to take the W in this bracket. Now, next up in the opening round of the bracket, we've got the final matchup, Taylor Swift at the top of the bracket, and at the bottom there, I couldn't really just pick one band, so I just put, that's just a collection of black metal logos in general. So this is Taylor Swift stands, the Swifties, versus black metal fans in general. There's no black metal band that's even popular enough to like represent all of black metal, because, you know, black metal is not very popular, and there's a reason for that, which is that it's not good. At least Limp Bizkit, you know, I'll admit, at least Limp Bizkit had some catchy songs. But black metal, not so much. So who wins? Well, on the one hand, I would say Taylor Swift fans are kind of like Nicki Minaj stans, in the sense of, you know, you don't want to get on their bad side. For example, Taylor Swift remains silent as fans dox and harass music critic over folklore review. Here's an animation of evil Taylor Swift, apparently. The call started around 2 in the morning, an hour after Pitchfork's senior editor Jillian Mapes' review of Taylor Swift's 8th album, Folklore, posted on the site. It was a largely positive review, but it was not positive enough for a certain subset of fans who began to use some of the internet's dirtiest and most dangerous tactics to harass the writer who dared to scorn their queen with insufficient praise. So the album got an 8, but an 8 wasn't good enough. Various tweets, some of which have now been deleted or removed, and some of which still remain, included Mapes' address and phone numbers, old and current. Some have included photos of Mapes and even her home. Users have joked about burning her house. Imagine acting that way about Taylor Swift. This is the Swifties, my friends. These are the Swifties. You don't want to be on their bad side. I don't know if I'd say her fans are irritating. I think they're more, it's kind of the same thing like with the Barbs. Her fans are like scary more than they are irritating. You know what I mean? I'm kind of scared of them. I'm scared of them. Don't come for me. I love Taylor Swift, especially the old stuff. Don't come for me, Swifties. I, too, worship your 5'11" blonde goddess. I welcome my new Swiftie overlords. Don't come for me. On the other side of the bracket, we have black metal fans. And when it comes to, are black metal fans scary? No. Black metal fans would like to think of themselves as scary, right? They want to think of themselves as, the dark fiends lurking in the night, peering out from, behind the corner of some ruined castle, about to stab you with a poison dagger like the Dark Brotherhood in Oblivion. That's how they would like to think of them. But in reality, we know who they are. We know who they are. They're just nerds in their mom's basement, listening to Behemoth or whatever, and, simping for some e-girl on TikTok who wore a Burzum shirt with no pants. We know who they are. Very, very, very butthurt, though. Very butthurt. Again, I have criticized black metal a couple times, and I was naive. I thought black metal fans would be able to laugh at the joke. I know, you guys are laughing at me because how stupid are you to think that black metal fans could take a joke? Listen, I was young and naive. I learned my lesson. Now I know. Oh my God, one of the touchiest, most butthurt fucking fandoms on earth. You'd think for a bunch of scary evil sorcerers, they'd be able to take a fucking joke. Holy shit. So for that reason, the black metal fans are going to advance. Now that brings us to the quarterfinals of this contest. So let's revisit. The next matchup is Gavin Dance fans versus Babymetal fans. Gotta say, as much as I joke about the Gavin Dance fans, they're actually pretty cool. They're kind of annoying. Maybe they go a little bit overboard sometimes, but they admit it. The Swan posting group, they're kind to me. They're nice to me. I don't actually have a problem with Gavin Dance fans. They're a little bit nerdy, but they're okay. They're fine. I don't have a problem with them. The Babymetal fans are fucking assholes. That's just the truth. Babymetal fans are fucking jerks. It's honestly shocking to me how rude and awful the Babymetal people are. So in this case, I gotta say, Babymetal people take the cake. They're not nice. Gavin Dance fans are just nerdy. Yeah, they're excited and they want to share what they like with other people. Exactly. Are they a little bit over the top sometimes? They are, but they're fine. They're just excitable nerds. That's all. But the Babymetal fans are fucking rude. They win this one in the most annoying fan matchup. And next up, we have Deftones versus Real Big Fish fandom. Ugh. It's a tough one. This is one of these matchups where you want them both to lose. I gotta say, though, Olive Garden is the way to think about Dream Theater, Deftones, and Tool. There's nothing wrong with it. Olive Garden is fine. It's just not great. That's how I think about Deftones fans. They just kind of have entry-level taste. They think that this thing that's actually kind of mid is great, but whatever. Not that big of a deal. The ska fans, holy shit. Somebody actually called me racist on Twitter because I didn't like Real Big Fish. The whitest fucking band of all time. They called me racist on Twitter because I didn't like Real Big Fish. I'm not joking. They're the most thin-skinned, butthurt people. They get so vicious so quickly. Deftones fans, not so much. They're a little bit annoying. They don't get nasty like Real Big Fish like the ska fans do. So for that reason, ska fans are going to move forward into the semifinals. On the left, we have Tool versus Limp Bizkit. I gotta say, this might surprise people. I'm just speaking from my own personal experience here. Limp Bizkit fans have been worse to me than Tool fans. Tool fans, kind of like Gavin Dance fans, definitely nerds, definitely over-enthusiastic, but they have never been nasty to me. They've never been so thin-skinned and butthurt. They really want me to like Tool. But even Tool fans can kind of laugh at Tool fans. I actually think that they're more self-aware than Limp Bizkit fans. I know it's going to be it's an upset. It's a surprise upset in the quarterfinals. Limp Bizkit fans knocking Tool fans out of the bracket early. I know it's going to be a surprise, but gotta say, the people angrily defending Limp Bizkit of all fucking bands in 2022, I'm going to say that for me, they're the winners of this one. That's what I think. Just my opinion. Now, with that said, that brings us to the next round of the quarterfinals. Dream Theater versus Black Metal fans. Look, Dream Theater fans are irritating. You know, they have bad taste. They think Dream Theater is great and Dream Theater is not great. Dream Theater is just okay. But I think we all know, you know, the Dream Theater people, they're harmless. They're fine, right? Like, we all like to dunk on them, but it's not that big of a deal. They're fine. Not compared to these fucking toxic Black Metal fans, which, by the way, we didn't even talk about the racism. We didn't even get to the racism. Clearly, they deserve to win. They have advanced to the semifinals. And so in the semifinals, we've got Limp Bizkit versus Black Metal fans on one side. We've got Babymetal versus Real Big Fish on the other side. I'm going to start on the other side. This is a tough one. The Babymetal versus Real Big Fish. Babymetal versus ska fans. This is a tough one. God, this is a really tough one. I'm torn, guys. I'm torn. On the one hand, the Babymetal fans have the weeaboo factor, which is really irritating. They've also got the sort of creepiness factor because you wonder, why do you like these Japanese girls in schoolgirl, semi-schoolgirl outfits so much? It's kind of weird. You know, there's that. But on the other hand, I feel like the ska fans are maybe even a little bit more butthurt. But you're right. I kind of agree with this. I'd go with Babymetal because weebs are creepy. Ska fans are just butthurt. Yeah, little kid lovers versus 40-year-old virgins. All right, when you put it that way, my decision is easy. The Babymetal fans have to advance to the finals when you put it that way. Well said. Thank you, chat. You're right. And then on the other side of the bracket, in the semis, we've got Limp Bizkit fans versus the Black Metal fans. I'm going to go with the Black Metal fans on this one. You know, defending the honor of Fred Durst and Limp Bizkit in 2022 is definitely cringe. That is certainly true. However, the racism in Black Metal is definitely a factor that we've got to weigh. Also, the fact that Black Metal is even worse musically than Limp Bizkit. Limp Bizkit is kind of overrated. Yeah, the kid lovers versus the racists. That's the final. It's a tough one. Who was most annoying? Oh, gosh, boy, you can see here. This is a tough one, guys. That's right. The line here on Black Metal versus Babymetal, it's dead even. Coming into the finals here, this is a pick'em. It's still anybody's game at this point. Hard to say who takes the cake here. I'm going to take a drink of water and ponder this. Yeah, take a poll in the finals. Okay, we've got a poll. The weebs versus the Black Metalers. Let me know what you think in the poll. I would think Babymetal fans also have a bit of racism thrown in as well. It's true. Fetishizing Japanese girls in particular, that's true. There's some racism on both sides, just different kinds of racism. Unexplained hate versus kid/Asian fetishism. It's tough. It's a tough one. Okay, it's down to the wire, folks. It's still anybody's game. It's dead even, 27-27. It's a buzzer beater. It's 34-30 with seconds remaining. The Weeaboos have pulled into the lead, but it's still anyone's game. Get your vote in. Oh, Weeaboos are ahead by 2. It's almost even. Oh, a buzzer beater at the very last moment. It was even there until literally 1 second before the end of the poll. Black Metalers have pulled into the lead. A come-from-behind victory for the Black Metalers, and they win our bracket here. The finalists in the most annoying fandom bracket, we've got the Black Metalers. The people have spoken. They have decided the most annoying fans on Earth, Black Metalers. There we have it, my friends. Thank you for joining me for this exciting contest. That was a good one. Thank you. Did you guys enjoy that as much as I did? That was a good one. That's the only time a Black Metal fan will come from behind.